Are you able to identify any difficulties in Tosca execution point of view, team? I just explained to you yesterday that HK's development, everything right. So did you identified anything here like it seems like it's somewhat difficult to understand the things? Hmm? So hope everyone is clear with all these points what we discussed till now, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So team, yesterday I explained to you how to create the project, correct? So which database option I picked yesterday to create the project? I used here SQLite database, correct? So team, SQLite repository seems like a common repository. We can call it as a common repository. We call it as a multi-user environment. We do have different ways to call this one, okay now? So to create a common repository, we are just using some of the database features, SQLite, and what are the other databases? Oracle. And next, any idea? Next one is DB2 and MS SQL Server. If you see here, team, basically the Tricentis Tosca, directly they are giving a 4 database options here to create the multi-user environment. Okay, now. The first point is here to understand clearly. I just used yesterday to create the project that is a SQLite repository, correct? This SQLite repository seems like a team. It's not a common repository. No one is using this SQLite repository in real time to maintain their project activities team. Getting. So my point is here, who are planning to work with the SQLite repository, so seems like they are trying to learn something. This is only for learning purpose, or so if you want to do any POC before after getting a job approval. So if you want to give any POC to the client, at that time we use this SQLite repository team. Coming to a real-time point of view, no one is using this SQLite to maintain their entire end-to-end project. Getting my point? So the people are using this project is only for the learning purpose and POC. If you see here, this project is replica of this Oracle and DB2 and MS SQL Server team. This SQLite is a replica of Oracle, DB2 and MS SQL Server. Okay. So let me show you how it looks like. Let's create a new project here. Go to here, the project. I'm just closing this project. And enter here. I just want to cancel, right? I don't want to log into any project now. I want to create a new project now with a different database, either Oracle or MS SQL Server or DB2. Okay, now.
Anusha, any options will be changed for SQLite or this, or the process is everything?
There is no changes.
Okay.
Okay. Completely, it's a replica of the SQLite, MS SQL Server, DB2 and Oracle. Okay. It's taking long time. Let me open a new Tosca commander. So currently I'm using a Tosca 15th version team. Okay. This is the Tricentis Tosca 15th version. Just wait for one more minute. I'll show you how to create a project with the other databases. And even I'll show you the differences as well. There is no differences here. See here, team, create new workspace. And after that here, select from the drop down. I'm just selecting Oracle database. If you select the Oracle database team, so this connection string is mandatory. Must we have to enter this connection string team. If I click on this question mark, are you able to see? To connect to the database, we required a data source, user ID, and password. So based on the selection team, if you select Oracle database, must you have to enter this connection string. Okay. For example, if I'm selecting MS SQL Server, so click on this question mark. Now the connection string is changed here. If you are using MS SQL Server, you have to enter here the server details, database, user ID, and password. Okay. So for example, if I'm using a DB2, for DB2 also we required a user ID, password, server, and database string. Except SQLite, if you are selecting any other databases, my mandatory thing is the connection string. We have to enter this particular connection string thing. Okay. So, and let me show you that architecture again. So the SQLite is only for the learning purpose team. We just use that SQLite repo for learning and POC purpose only. But coming to real-time point of view, no one is using this SQLite is a part of a project development scope. Okay, na? If you see this particular architecture very clearly, to create a common repository, we are just using a database connection here. Okay. If we are using a database connection, what are the databases available here? One is Oracle database is available and DB2 is available and MS SQL Server is available. So these three are acting as a multi-user databases along with SQLite, but SQLite is default, it's provided by Tricentis company only. Okay, na? So to create a project must be required authentication of these databases. Must you have a proper authentication of these databases. The meaning of that, who are acting as a test lead or test manager, they'll add your employee ID to the database. They give some authorization, employee ID or email ID to your respective databases. So after giving this access to you, then only you are able to connect these particular databases via connection string. Okay, now. So team, to create a common repository, we are just using here a database option. To create a database option team, database option is not enough. So at the time of connecting to database, we have to go with the connection string here. To connect to the connection string, we required access for these databases. Directly, we don't have authorizations to access these database. We'll raise a ticket to the respective development team, add our employee IDs to the respective database table, which database we are using for the testing purpose. Okay. Once they add our employee ID and employee email ID to that particular database only team, we are able to connect to this particular one. Let me show you this, how to work these activities. If you go to our Tosca commander here, so see here team, this is MS SQL Server. Okay, I just entering some server details as a Tosca and database is also something like some information I'm just passing. So this is, I'm not sure, I'm just giving some dummy data here. So once you enter your connection string, you have to test the connection. If your connection is valid, the meaning of that you are having authorizations to the database. That is the first point. If your connection is not a valid, the meaning of that you or the responsible person, maybe your employee ID or mail ID is not attached to the respective database. That is the reason you are getting the connection invalid message. Clear? So what are the connection strings we are providing, team? Simple task only from our point of view, the background setup I'm telling to you. Okay. Once you join to the any project team, simply we pass the connection string here, we test the connection. At the time of testing a connection, if connection is not establishing properly, the meaning of that you don't have access to the database. Okay. So this adding of employees to the database, that will be taken care by the development team, which is, sorry, a DB team. We raise a tickets to the DB team to add our employee IDs to the database. Once they add our employee IDs to the database, if you test the connection, then you are able to see here one message that is the connection is valid. Clear with this information? Any questions here?
Clear.
Okay. I do have some MS SQL Server access team. Let's take that MS SQL Server access to create the project. Let's go. I just want to take this connection string. Where it is? 1 second. I was trying to find that connection string here. I think nothing is available here. I think this is the connection string team. Okay. I'm just copying this particular connection string. I'm just pasting here. Okay. So team, instead of giving user ID password, the user ID password is very confidential data. If we are sharing that user IDs and passwords to the team members, so maybe we can expect some misuse as well. So instead of passing the user IDs passwords here, we can give the somewhat of integrated security information equal to true. Okay. That is the reason I just mentioned here integrated security instead of giving user ID and password. After entering your valid connection string here, test the connection. So now are you able to see the connection is valid message? Everyone?
Yes.
Now the connection is valid. Once that connection
Like,
is valid,
Anusha, will they provide us like this connection entire string or they
or
will just give access?
they'll give this connection string as well.
Okay.
Okay. So if they are giving access, that is not complete activity. Okay. They're just giving a background activity, but when coming to the front view, must we have to pass the connection string here, then only we able to access the project. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the connection string team. Connection string is mandatory for MS SQL Server and DB2 and Oracle. For when we are working with SQLite, connection string is not required. Okay. Yesterday, I explained to you the creation of new project, correct? Yesterday, we just had a discussion of creation of new project. Let's discuss the creation of existing project. So you're just joining to the existing project. So instead of login with a new project, we are just login with the existing project. Okay. So already we use this connection string to create the project team. So this is not possible to create a different project with the same connection string. See here, I just enabled this feature, that is a use existing repository option. I just uncheck this particular checkbox. After that, I'm giving some naming conversion here, my project name as. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of unchecking of this feature?
So that means you are not using existing repository.
I'm not using any existing, I'm creating a new workspace.
Yeah.
Okay. I just entered my project name. So let me select this workspace template. I just selected. But once you do a click operation on OK, are you able to see here? One message I'm getting. The selected common repository is not empty. Use another database or another schema or delete existing tables. So the meaning of that, already they created one project using this database and this server details thing. So it's not possible to use the same thing to create a new project. This point is clear?
That means with the same database, can't we able to create a multiple workspaces?
Yes, we can use for only one workspace, one database.
Okay.
Okay. So here is the database Tosca. It's already used and even the project is going on. But when I'm trying to create the same database with a different project, that is not possible. It is suggesting us to go with another database instead of using this one. Okay. And next point is here tip. So instead of creating a new one, what I'll do, I'll just go with the existing repository because it's already created, right? I just selected use existing repository. After selection of use existing repository, are you able to see use workspace template is in a disable mode?
Yeah.
Use workspace in a disable mode because it is a existing repository and even this is part of the existing project. Okay. My project name is equal to Tosca Pro MS SQL. I just entered this project named it. Okay. I'm not sure this is the main project or not sure, but I just given this naming conversion. So do click operation on OK. Once you do click operation on OK, are you able to see here one information creating a new workspace with existing comma? Existing commanding. It is trying to updating the things and what are the existing information is there. So it's trying to updating that. Yes. So enter here a credentials team. Let me log in with admin credentials. I'm just entering my username is admin and my password is login.
Like what are all other credentials will be there, Anusha? Like one is admin and remaining will be?
Only the default user credentials is admin only. Okay, if you want to log in with our credentials, then we have to set up that credentials within the project level itself.
Like in real time, how it will be? The like one is the
In
admin.
real time, we'll give access to our team members.
Mhm.
That is the reason I just log in with admin to show you how to create a users in the project level. So when you are next login, we'll use our credentials only. Coming to real-time point of view, we'll just share those credentials to them. They use only those credentials to log into the workspace.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Like with their names or with their designations, they will log.
Names only, name or employee ID or mail ID.
Okay.
Any of these. Name or employee ID or employee mail ID. So team, I just logged in with admin credentials. Are you able to identify any differences between that yesterday's workspace and today's workspace? There is no much differences here, right? I think nothing. So if you want to see the project name team, so go to the home tab, and inside that home tab, one option is there, that is the Tosca project. Just click on this Tosca project. And what is the main project name here, team? What is the project name? Tosca repo. So inside this project, are you able to see all these sections? Configurations, data integrity, executions, issues, modules, reporting and requirement, and test case designing, and test cases and test planning. Are you able to see all these pages?
Yeah.
Yeah, Anusha, but we haven't checked the checkbox use workspace template right while creating the project. So how it
I'm
will
not creating the project. I just use the existing project.
be?
At the time of creating a project, then we use the use workspace template. This is already existing project. You can see here the number of existing test cases which is developed by our team members.
Yeah,
This is not a new workspace, right? Even module section level also you can see the number of folder structures is already, it has been created. Seems someone is already working on this, right? It's existing repository. If you are using existing common, then this feature is disabled for us because this is already implemented in this project level. You are able to see only the workspace template when you are creating a new project. If you are using any existing project, then you are not able to see this use workspace template feature. Clear with that? Hello.
yeah, I'm having a little bit confusion here.
It's a simple, not much. Okay. So at the time of creating a project, if you're choosing any option, either SQLite or MS SQL Server, what is the meaning of this one?
So you are selecting existing repository
That
here.
means already that project
Which
is created, right?
yeah, in that
And
repository already project is created.
created, and even some people are also working on that. This
Yeah,
one is clear. If this
yeah,
option is selected, are you able to see here the workspace template is there enabled or disabled?
disable.
Why it is disabled?
It's already selected project, that's why.
At the time of project creation only, correct?
Yeah,
At the time of project creation, they already selected. That is the reason this is disabled.
yes,
Now you're asking this part only, right?
yeah.
I just created project using existing. I just enable this option at the time of creation. That is the reason this feature is disabled. Clear?
So what are we are creating here? We are creating new workspace or what
We are
exactly we are
creating a new workspace with existing
existing?
common.
Okay,
We're just creating
understood.
a new workspace with existing common. So
Okay,
are you remember yesterday I explained to you one scenario, like common repository, how these people are accessing.
yeah,
This is the common repository which I created with the Tosca. If I want to give access to person one, then how I'll give access to person one? I'll just provide one connection string to her. Okay, na?
yes, yes,
So I'll just pass this connection string to person one. Then person one's laptop. So person one, this person one open the laptop, and after that they open the Tosca commander in that particular laptop. After that they use here a create a project. So in this create project itself, they just choose the use existing repository because this project is already created, right?
yeah,
This project is already created. That person one, if person one wants to connect to this particular repository or particular project, they have to use here is existing repository. The meaning of that, the person one is creating a workspace with existing common, which is already exist. Okay.
yes, understood.
So similarly, same activities is done by the person two and same activities is done by the person three. But finally, all these people are working in a which location? Same area. These all people are working in this particular project only. Clear?
Yeah.
The importance of the use existing repo. Probably in real time, we always use existing repo because its project is already created by either client or test leads or test managers. They'll take care of creation of the project, but we are the persons to create a use existing repo with the help of connection string. Okay, now
Okay.
clear with this?
Yes.
So coming to, we'll see some differences here, team. Are you able to see any differences here? If I go to my project window, team, this is my project. Are you able to see all the phases, right? So total 8 to 9 phases. Yes or no?
Yes.
So seems like all phases, and even you can see same module section. Module section is holding a number of modules. Test case section is also having, and execution is also there. And here we are doing executions, and even test case designing is also there. And even we are just developing some test data here to prepare the test cases. So, and similar way, we do have a requirement and the issues and configurations, but nothing is there in this requirement section and issues section and test planning sections too. So as a automation test engineer, we majorly focus on only three to four sections only. The first section is here, the test case section and the module section and test case designing, execution and configurations. Even this data integrity also belongs to a different type of testing. It seems like a completely data point of it. Clear?
Yes, Anusha.
So in interviews, we'll get a 2 to 3 interview questions on this team, which type of repository you are using in your project. You can say in my project, I'm using MS SQL Server repository. Don't say SQLite. As I mentioned here, the SQLite, no one is using this SQLite repository in the market. Okay. So try to give a priority to either MS SQL Server or DB2. We are not going back to the database to check all these activities. The thing is very simple. We're just using a connection string to create existing common. Okay. But in interviews point of view, definitely this is a one of the interview question, which type of repositories you are using in Tosca. So we can say the project, we are using a common repository, which is created by the MS SQL Server. That's it. Not much. And even are you able to see the common repository is equal to here MS SQL Server, and even this is the connection string. I'm able to see this connection string very clearly because, so which credentials are used here to login purpose?
Admin.
Admin. I am the admin. That is the reason I'm able to see connection string very clearly. If I log in with my credentials like Anusha credentials, then I'm not able to see this connection string. This is in encrypted mode. Clear with this?
Okay. Generally, who will be the admin in a real-time project? Like, is it QA lead or who is that?
So
Hello?
by default, Tosca itself, it give the admin credentials thing. Okay, now. For example, if I'm acting as an admin, okay. If I want to add people to my particular project, are you able to see here one tab that is a user management tab?
Yeah.
So I'll just go to the project and do checkout. Go to here, the user management tab. Are you able to see the number of people here within my project? You're able to see the number of users, right?
Yes.
So if I want to add any another person here too, I'm just doing right click on here. I'm just creating here user two. And I'll just give any naming conversion here. I'm just giving here Anu is my username. And if you want to set the password, right click on here and set the password. So again, re-enter password. That's it. Once you set the password for this particular one, do apply check-in all. Once you apply check-in all, I think this check-in all, checkout reactivities, I'll discuss these things late tomorrow. Okay. Try to understand this one. Once you add the user, I'll just share this user ID password to the respective person. I just created user ID password for Anusha, right? What I'll do, I'll just give this user ID password to Anusha, either personally or I'll ping to her in via mobile or Teams team. Okay. Next.
Yeah.
This is what adding of users to the project. If you want to create by default admins, this who are the persons adding in this area, those all are acting as an admins team. They are having admin privileges here. So here the default one user is there, that is a admin. At the time of project creation itself, we can set up the admin credentials team. That is possible. Okay. So if you are facing any issues while setting admin credentials, just log in with admin and try to add another user credentials here to set up the admin category. Okay. Basically, this admin privilegations these things are held by the client. They won't give admin credentials to the any one of our team members. If it is required, they provide these admin credentials to the team lead, but not all the team members team. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So I just created Anu credentials, right? What I'll do now, I'll just close this project. I'll just log in with admin Anu credentials now. The project is created. Double click on this respective project. So instead of login with admin credentials team, what I'll do, I'll just create Anu credentials, right? I'm just logging with my credentials and click on login. So when we are logging with Anu credentials, like our user credentials, so even we are able to see a same Tosca commander. There is no much changes here. Are you able to see? When I'm logging with Anu credentials, I'm able to see all the test cases which is already developed, right? And even existing modules I can see and requirements, everything I'm able to see here, correct?
Yeah.
So coming to here, the project point of view, are you able to see connection string now? Earlier, we are able to see this connection string very clearly, right? But now, are you able to see connection string properly?
No.
This is encrypted. And which credentials we used here to login purpose? Anu credentials. And coming back to here, so as a Anu, I don't have a privilegations to add a users here. Team. Are you able to see any user management tab here?
No.
We don't have any user management tab here because Anu is the only a team member. The Anu is not a admin of this particular project. Clear with that? So Tim, now you understand one point. The thing is, if project is created by either Oracle or DB2 or MS SQL, this all the SQLite project is replica of all these things. Okay, na? So for practice purpose, we use the SQLite repository. Any questions as of now?
So if we get the license for practicing purpose, are we using SQLite repository or which one?
You can continue with SQLite repository for practice purpose, okay?
Mm.
I'll explain the things in MS SQL Server. This one and that one, both are same, right? The database option is changed, but coming to the interface, everything is same, right? Are you able to find any differences from this project to that project? Nothing.
అనుష ఇందాక ఇక్కడ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అండ్ అలాంగ్ విత్ సెక్షన్స్ డిస్ప్లే అయ్యాయి కదా లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్, అది మీరు క్లోజ్ చేశారు, అది మళ్ళీ అలా డిస్ప్లే అవ్వాలంటే ఎలాగా?
Go to Home tab and click on this project icon.
ఓకే.
If you click on this project icon, now you are able to see one window is reflected.
ఓకే.
And here itself, you are able to see the number of sections here on. Okay.
సో మేము ప్రాక్టీస్ అవ్వడానికి యూజ్ చేసే టూల్ లో కూడా చెక్ ఇన్ చెక్అవుట్ మెకానిజం ఉంటుంది.
Compulsory ఉంటుంది. Because this SQLite is also part of common repository, right?
ఓకే.
SQLite కూడా మనకి కామన్ రిపాజిటరీ కాబట్టి చెక్ ఇన్ చెక్అవుట్ కంపల్సరీ ఉంటుంది.
ఓకే.
ఓకే. సారీ. Team, any other questions, rest of the people? Sridhar, Rajeshwari, Pavani.
Clear, Anusha? No questions from my side.
Okay. Thank you so much. So team, this is the way. So I just explained to you how to create existing project with MS SQL Server, correct? So let me show you how to create a project with existing common with SQLite repository. So SQLite, we are not providing any connection string for that, correct? So let me open any one of the SQLite repo here. Let me cancel this one. I'm just using this SQLite multi-project. So I'm just logging with your Anusha credentials because I already set up these credentials. Go to this project icon. Are you able to see the path of the SQLite? What is the type of repository here? SQLite. And here to copy the path of this particular project and use this path to create existing command. Sorry, here click on create new, select type of repository is SQLite. So enable this feature as it is, use existing repo because we are creating existing common with SQLite repo. So in the select existing repository path team, what are the path we copied here? Just paste here itself. And give the naming conversion. I'm just giving here SQLite 2 is my project name. And are you able to see use workspace template is in disable mode? Because it is a use existing common repository with the SQLite. We are just creating SQLite existing common team. Click on OK. Now it is creating a new workspace with existing common with SQLite repository. I'm just logging with here the admin credentials team. Are you able to see the existing test cases which we developed earlier?
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes, we are able to see modules and everything.
So even SQLite level also, are you able to see here the checkout tree, check-in, all these activities are displayed here, right? And if you see the project icon, even the project icon level, almost all the sections we are able to see here, correct? If you want to see the name of the user, go to the project and here you can see which name I used here, admin. That is the reason here I'm able to see the user management tab. Okay. Here also we can add the users team. I just added users only Anusha. That is the reason I can log in with Anusha credentials or admin credentials. Okay, na? Clear with this?
Yeah, clear.
Good. So the next point is here team Tosca installations. If you want to go with the Tosca installations team, so please set up your Windows 10 or 11 team, and the minimum RAM is equal to 8 GB is the minimum RAM. If you are having a 4 GB, you can increase that. And the processor, any processor is fine. So the hard disk, so hard disk is always hard disk and SSD. Anything is fine team. So coming to the network speed, so please keep in a good network only team. Network speed of the Tricentis is given like 100 Mbps, but we can go with some less as well. Okay, na? These all are the requirements to do the installations of Tricentis Tosca. I just explained to you the overview of Tosca Commander, how we do the development, how the project look likes. And once we navigate to the project, what are the sections primarily we use for the testing point of view, how to create the project, how to create a project with existing comp. Okay. Clear up to here?
Clear.
Yeah. So team, the 3 days of free class demo or free demo sessions is completed now today onwards. And if you want to continue with the tomorrow's class, please do the registration with your management and get the tomorrow's class link as well. team.
అనుష నాకు ఈ టీడీస్ క్లాసెస్ డెమో రికార్డింగ్ సెషన్స్ రాలేదు మెయిల్
3 days వి రాలేదా? మెయిల్ రాదండి, వాట్సాప్ కి షేర్ చేస్తారు మీకు.
వాట్సాప్ లో కూడా లింక్ షేర్ చేయలేదు.
మీ నెంబర్ లేదా వాళ్ళ దగ్గర?
ఓకే, నేను ఒకసారి వాళ్ళని కాంటాక్ట్ అవుతాను. మీ
ఒకసారి వాళ్ళని
ఏజెంట్.
కాంటాక్ట్ అండి, వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చేస్తారు మీకు డైరెక్ట్ గా లింక్స్ 3 days వి. ఓకే,
ఓకే
ఫస్ట్ డే డెమోది, ఎస్టర్డేస్ క్లాస్, ఈ రోజు క్లాస్ 3 days ఇచ్చేస్తారు.
ఓకే.
అండ్ కమింగ్ టు ఇన్స్టాలేషన్స్ చెప్పండి.
నాకు ఓన్లీ ఎస్టర్డేస్ వచ్చింది క్లాస్, మొన్న డెమో క్లాస్ నేను రాలేదు. ఇస్ దట్ లైక్ మిస్ అయినా ఓకే కదా 3 days ది? హలో.
సో మీకు ఓన్లీ ఎస్టర్డేస్ క్లాస్ వచ్చింది, ఆ ప్రీవియస్ డే డెమోది రాలేదు.
అవునవును అవును అనుష.
Okay, so don't worry team, I'll check with them, management, and they'll share you these 3 links together today. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And one more point here team, the installations and license activations we completely taking care of our side only. No need to worry about your point of view. You'll get the Tosca installation file around the Tosca 16th version. Okay, if you want any latest also I'll give you, but I'm just giving Tosca 16th access to my all previous students as well, because so if someone is learning Tricentis Tosca, definitely they want to keep some experience on Tosca, right? So if you want to keep an experience on Tosca, must we have some exposure on some of the versions of Tosca. For example, if you are keeping a 3 years or 4 years of experience in Tosca, definitely this is one of the interview question, which version of Tosca you implemented in your project. So for example, I just kept it as I have 4 years of experience in Tosca, let us assume, okay. and I'm telling I worked on Tosca 2023.4 or 2024.1. Is that valid statement?
No.
So the 2023.3 is released in the year of 2023, but when you are trying to log in with the, so 2024.1 is released this year only, recently. I think this month only they released this version. Okay. And 2023 point released, here two versions is there, 2021 and 2. So these two versions is released in the year of 2023, and Tosca 16th version. Before version is Tosca 16, and before version is 15th version, and before version is 14th version. So if you are trying to keep an experience at least 3 to 4 years, at least we are aware of 15, 16 and these latest versions too. So we do have a major difference between 15th version to 16th version only. So I'll give you the trainings on Tosca 15th version. You can do practical sessions on 16th version. At a time, you are going to learn these two activities too. Clear? The 16, 2023.1, 2024 point, almost these three are the similar only. There is no much changes. Clear? Any questions, team? Any one of you? Yes, if you're having any questions, do let me know.
సో అనుష ఇంటర్వ్యూలో అలా క్వశ్చన్ అడిగితే 16th వర్షన్ ప్రెసెంట్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం, 15th లో కూడా వర్క్ చేసామని చెప్పొచ్చా?
చెప్పొచ్చు.
ఓకే.
కరెంట్లీ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ 16th వర్షన్. అంటే మనం పెట్టుకున్న ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ని బట్టి ఉంటుందండి. మీరు ఒక 3 ఇయర్స్ పెట్టారనుకోండి, 16th వర్షన్ నుంచి 16th వర్షన్ అండ్ లేటెస్ట్ 2023 వర్షన్స్ కూడా వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాను, ఐడియా ఉందని చెప్పొచ్చు. కొన్ని కంపెనీస్ ఏంటి అంటే లేటెస్ట్ వర్షన్ రిలీజ్ అయిన వెంటనే వాళ్ళ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ ని రీసెంట్ వర్షన్స్ కి అప్గ్రేడ్ చేసుకోరు. సో ప్రాజెక్ట్ కంప్లీట్ అయ్యేంత వరకు అదే వర్జన్ లో వర్క్ చేస్తారు. ఆఫ్టర్ కంప్లీషన్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ దే మైగ్రేట్ టు ద లేటెస్ట్ వర్షన్స్. కొన్ని కంపెనీస్ లో స్టిల్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ది ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ ఆర్ రన్నింగ్ ఇన్ టోస్కా 14th వర్షన్. కొన్ని కంపెనీస్ లో అయితే కొన్ని ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ 14th వర్షన్ లోను, 15, 13th వర్షన్ లో రన్ అయ్యే ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ కానీ ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ లెర్నింగ్ టోస్కా 16, మీరు 16 కి 15 కి ఒకేసారి లెర్న్ చేసుకుంటే 15 కి బిలో ఏమేం ఫీచర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, 16th తర్వాత ఏమేం ఫీచర్స్ యాడ్ చేశారు రీసెంట్ గా అనేది తెలుస్తుంది. మేజర్ డిఫరెన్స్ వచ్చేసి 15 కి 16 కి మధ్యలోనే ఉందండి.
ఓకే.
ఓకే.
Yeah, Anusha, I have the doubt. ఇప్పుడు 15th version మీరు చెప్తున్నారు and asking us to prepare on 16th version. Is that similar, right?
Both are similar only.
Okay.
Both are similar, okay?
Yeah.
There is no much change here.
అనుష, మీరు అంటే మనం ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ నుంచి నెక్స్ట్ వర్షన్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత ఎలా అప్గ్రేడ్ చేయాలి అవి కూడా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తారా కోర్సులో?
అప్గ్రేడింగ్ అనేది సెపరేట్ టాస్క్ అండి. దానికి చాలా ప్రాసెస్ ఉంటుంది బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ లో.
ఓకే. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం టెస్ట్ కేసెస్ ఒక వర్షన్ లో ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తుంటాం, నెక్స్ట్ వర్షన్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకొని అందులోకి మూవ్ చేయాలి. అది ఎలా చేయాలి? ఎలా
ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేసుకొని ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
అదే ఆ ప్రాసెస్ కోర్సులో
ప్రాసెస్ అంత పెద్దదేమి ఉండదు, సింపులే. ఇక్కడ మనకి టోస్కా కమాండర్ లో ఒక ఫీచర్ ఉంటది, ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ అని. ఇక్కడ కనిపిస్తుందా? ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ సబ్సెట్. మీరు ఏదైతే ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటున్నారో అది సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకొని ఇక్కడ మీరు ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ అని క్లిక్ చేస్తే లోకల్లోకి ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ అవుతుంది. మీ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లోకి ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి.
అంటే కొన్నిసార్లు ఫార్మాట్ అవన్నీ సెట్ అవ్వవు కదా, సపోర్ట్
వచ్చేస్తుంది.
వచ్చేస్తుంది.
As it is వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఓకే. ఓకే టీమ్. సో clear for all, right? Any questions? Let me know.
రిజిస్టర్ అయిన తర్వాత మార్నింగ్ 8:30 to 9:30 కదా అనుషు.
ఇప్పుడు
Class.
ఉంటుందండి, మండే నుంచి ఉంటుంది మార్నింగ్ 8:30 to 9:30. టుమారో వీ హ్యావ్ ఏ క్లాస్. మండే అన్వర్డ్స్ విల్ కనెక్ట్ మార్నింగ్ 8:30 to 9:30. ఓకే.
సో ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ ప్రాసెస్ అవన్నీ ఎప్పుడు కంప్లీట్ చేస్తారు?
Installations probably try to complete by tomorrow and day after tomorrow.
ఎవరైనా అంటే సపోర్ట్ చేస్తారా మీ ఏజెంట్?
మేనేజ్మెంట్ వాళ్ళు మీకు ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ డాక్యుమెంట్ అవన్నీ షేర్ చేస్తారు, ఎలా ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలి, దాని ప్రాసెస్ ఉంటుంది అందులో. ఫాలో దట్ పర్టికులర్ డాక్యుమెంట్ టు డూ ద ఇన్స్టాలేషన్.
డౌట్స్ వస్తే వాళ్ళని కనెక్ట్ అవ్వచ్చు వాళ్ళకి?
వాళ్ళు కనెక్ట్ అవ్వచ్చు, వాళ్ళు చెప్తారు.
ఓకే.
Okay, team. So thanks for joining all. We'll connect tomorrow, same time. Thanks to you all. Bye.
Thanks, Abhishek. Thanks.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you.